we should talk about what his departure means for the 49ers. So let's talk. His replacement is going to be DeMeco Ryans, who is a lot like Robert Saleh. They're both bald. They both have shiny heads. So then you start there. But no, really, linebacker coaches turned defensive coordinators. Saleh was a quality control coach with Seattle, a linebacker coach with Jacksonville, a defensive coordinator with the 49ers, and now a head coach. Ryans was a player. He was a middle linebacker for the Texans when Saleh was a quality control coach there, and when Shanahan was a position coach there. So that's how they know each other. He became a quality control coach with the Niners in 2017. They promoted him to linebacker coach after 1 year. He's been the linebackers coach the last 3 seasons. He has helped develop Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. I mean, really, the linebackers on the Niners took off when DeMeco Ryans became the linebacker coach. In 2017, remember, they had Navarro Bowman, Malcolm Smith, Reuben Foster, Ray Armstrong, bunch of bums. Then DeMeco Ryans gets promoted in 2018. Fred Warner comes in. Greenlaw the next year. Azeez Al-Shaair. Ever since DeMeco Ryans has been this linebacker coach, the Niners linebackers have been, I mean, everyone they've drafted or signed has been a stud. They've all gotten better. He's a fantastic linebackers coach. Like Robert Saleh was. Robert Saleh in Jacksonville developed Telvin Smith and Miles Jack, who were both elite in their day. So DeMeco Ryans really is, they see him as the next Robert Saleh. He's got that type of positive, energetic, extroverted personality like Saleh. Also very young like Saleh was when Saleh became the coordinator. Although Saleh was 38 and he'd been a position coach for just 3 years, maybe 4 years, 3 years. Ryans is 36 and he's been a position coach for 3 years as well. So similar to Saleh, but even more green. And it's interesting. I mean, at least he's not going to a new team and he doesn't have to learn new players and install a new scheme. Everything is installed. He's just can keep doing what Robert Saleh did. The issue, though, is, you know, he was a teacher before. He would take Robert Saleh's instructions and communicate them to the players, and he was great at it. That's a skill. But now, being a coordinator is a different skill. It's game planning. It's strategy. It's play calling. You know, like, it's not like DeMeco Ryans is the defensive coordinator on a team that has a defensive coach. It's not like Ken Norton Jr. You know, Ken Norton Jr. is the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, and they have an excellent defense. But is that his defense or is it Pete Carroll's? Like, is Pete Carroll like doing the outline of the drawing, and is Ken Norton coloring in? Is he coloring by numbers? Probably. Because when Ken Norton got his first defensive coordinator job with the Raiders, he failed. And I do think there might be some similarity between DeMeco Ryans and Ken Norton Jr. in the sense that they're former excellent middle linebackers turned linebacker coaches and coordinators. Saleh flourished as a defensive coordinator under an offensive coach. The defense was his baby. He was basically a co-head coach. He had no one helping him. He could call Gus Bradley, you know, during the week and talk things through, but he couldn't talk to Gus Bradley during the game. If he needed to make an adjustment, that's on him. And, you know, Saleh struggled with that the first couple of years. That was the growing pains. Like, you're on your own, dude. You got no Gus Bradley, no Pete Carroll to run this by. Like, it's all you. That is your baby. And it took him a few years to be able to rise to that challenge, and boy, did he. Maybe DeMeco Ryans will too. Shanahan says he's a head coach in the making, but and that may be. But first, he's got to be a good coordinator, and that's different from being a head coach. That is all about, you know, creativity, ideas, strategy, game planning, play calling, all of that stuff. So I'm curious to see what DeMeco Ryans can do. That he's never done any of that before. Where does he start and how quickly does he improve? That's what the Niners need, because this is supposed to be a win now or, proposition. They're not supposed to be rebuilding. They just gave Robbie Gould a big, nice contract. He's a 40-year-old kicker. You don't re-sign a 40-year-old kicker if you're going to rebuild. This team is trying to win now. So DeMeco Ryans, I mean, everyone expects him to have a little bit of a growing period, but it can't be too drastic. He's got to be ready to go because the Niners didn't even seem to interview anyone else. There was no one else they were interested in. No one who was old, who was experienced, who had a different view on football than Kyle Shanahan. Just the same guy who's been here 3-4 years. That's great. But how good is he right now? He's going to be doing a bunch of things the Niners have never seen him do. No one's ever seen him do. So I'm curious to see with that. But I don't want to be negative. We just don't know. It's an unknown.